Hello everyone, welcome to GYANKALYAN. In our last class, we came to know how the system of apartheid came to an end in South Africa, how Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa, and what did he say in his speech. And today we will see what else is written in The Long Walk to Freedom. So আমাৰ আগৰটো ক্লাছত আমি পঢ়িছিলো কেনেকৈ নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাই সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ ফাৰ্ষ্ট ব্ল্যাক প্ৰেসিডেন্ট হ'বলৈ সক্ষম হৈছিল, কেনেকৈ এপাৰ্থেইড নামৰ এই ৰাজনৈতিক প্ৰক্ৰিয়া অন্ত পৰিছিল সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ, আৰু নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাই নিজৰ বক্তৃতাত কি কথা কৈছিল। আজি আমি চাম তাৰ পিছত কি কথা লিখা আছে। A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers roared in perfect formation over the Union buildings. So next, Nelson Mandela, he describes the scenario of the inauguration day after he delivered his speech. So just like in India, what happens on the occasion of Independence Day or Republic Day? We witness the events taking place in Red Fort. What happens there? Different jets and helicopters flying high in the sky forms different shapes and color, and this way they salute the government. So in the same way, in South Africa, jet planes, helicopters, they formed different colors and shape, and they were saluting the new democratic government of South Africa. And that scenario gave them a sense of pride to be the part of South Africa. Actually, this is a representation of the military force allying and supporting the newly formed democratic government in South Africa. যেনেকৈ ভাৰতৰ স্বাধীনতা বা গণতন্ত্ৰ দিৱসত আমি দেখা পাওঁ যে ইণ্ডিয়া গেটৰ আকাশত উৰাজাহাজে বিভিন্ন ৰং ছটিয়াই এক মোহনীয়া দৃষ্টি সৃষ্টি কৰে, একেধৰণে সেইদিনা সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাতো হৈছিল। এয়া কেৱল এক মোহনীয়া প্ৰদৰ্শনীয়ে নাছিল, ইয়াৰ জৰিয়তে সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ সৈন্যবাহিনীয়ে নৱনিৰ্বাচিত চৰকাৰৰ প্ৰতি তেওঁলোকৰ একতা প্ৰকাশ কৰিছিল। You can see the lines. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. Only moments before, the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and Police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before, they would not have saluted but arrested me. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold of the new South African flag. So Mandela said that today these officers are congratulating and saluting me. But I very well know that if today I did not become the first black president of South Africa and the system of apartheid still prevail, then these very people would not have saluted or congratulated me, but they would have definitely arrested me. So Mandela নিজৰ স্পিচত কৈছে যে মই খুব ভালদৰে জানো যে আজি যিসকল অফিচাৰ্ছে মোক সন্মান জনাইছে, মোক সেলিউট কৰিছে, এই একে অফিচাৰসকলে মোক নি আজি জেলত ভৰাই থলেহেঁতেন যদিহে মই আজি সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ ফাৰ্ষ্ট ব্ল্যাক প্ৰেসিডেন্ট হ'বলৈ সক্ষম নহ'লোহেঁতেন, আৰু যদি আজিও এপাৰ্থেইড সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাত চলি থাকিলহেঁতেন, তেনেহ'লে এই অফিচাৰসকলে আজি মোক নিশ্চয় সেলিউট কৰি নাথাকিলহেঁতেন, তেওঁলোকে মোক নি জেলত ভৰাই দিলেহেঁতেন। সেইখিনি কথাই নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাই কৈছে। তাৰপিছত কৈছে যে ফাইনেলি a chevron of Impala jet left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold of the new South African flag. So you can see the meaning of chevron, that is a pattern of the shape of a V. That means the jets that flied in the sky that left various colors in the sky. The colors were black, red, green, blue, gold. So that represented the South African flag. So the display that was going on in the sky presented by the jets and helicopters, they were actually representing the national flag of South Africa. They formed the V pattern. You can see chevron. The meaning of chevron is a pattern in the shape of a V. So, do you know why Nelson Mandela said that they would not have saluted me but would have arrested me? Because Nelson Mandela was strongly opposing to the policy of apartheid prior to him becoming the first black president of South Africa. And if he would not have become the South African first black president, then he would have been definitely arrested by the white officials, by the white military force. Therefore, he said that I was not unmindful, means I was not unaware of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted me but would have arrested me. Therefore, Nelson Mandela said this. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems and the vision of whites singing Kosi Sikalali Africa and blacks singing Die Stem, the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. So Nelson Mandela said that South Africa had two national anthems, one for the whites and the other for the blacks. The whites sang Kosi Sikalali Africa and the blacks, they sang Die Stem. So Nelson Mandela said that day the blacks and the whites were not only singing their respective national anthem but also the national anthem of one another. Though they did not know the lyrics, yet they sang, because by then there was no difference between the blacks and the whites. Though once the whites hated the blacks, but from that day no such discrimination prevailed in South Africa. All were one, all were united. Therefore, now both the groups, that is the blacks and the whites, they began liking each other's national anthem, and they could also gradually learn the national anthem of each other. So you can see the meaning of despised, that is, had a very low opinion of. Okay? So Nelson Mandela koise যে সেইদিনা ব্ল্যাকস আৰু হোৱাইট সকলে কেৱল নিজৰ নিজৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় সংগীতেই গোৱা নাছিল, লগতে এজনে আনজনৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় সংগীতো গাইছিল। যদিও তেওঁলোকে এজনে আনজনৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় সংগীতৰ লিৰিক্স বা শব্দবোৰ জনা নাছিল, তথাপিও তেওঁলোকে গাইছিল, কাৰণ সেইদিনাৰ পৰা ব্ল্যাকস বা হোৱাইটস বুলি কোনো ভেদাভেদ নাছিল, সকলো এক হৈছিল আৰু তেওঁলোকে এজনে আনজনৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় সংগীতক আঁকোৱালি লৈছিল খুব আন্তৰিকতাৰে। On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. So, the inauguration day was actually a great day for Nelson Mandela. He was overpowered with a sense of history. History means he is talking about the bygone days when the blacks were struggling for freedom from every kind of restriction imposed on them. Nelson Mandela's own old days and everything from the past was going on in his mind. Inaugurationৰ দিনটো আসলতে নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাৰ বাবে এটা ঐতিহাসিক আৰু গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ দিন আছিল। তেওঁৰ মানস পটত ভাহি আহিছিল বহুতো পুৰণা স্মৃতি। কেনেকৈ ব্ল্যাক সকলে বহুত দীৰ্ঘদিন ধৰি যুদ্ধ কৰি নিজৰ স্বাধীনতা পাবলৈ সক্ষম হৈছিল, তাৰপিছত নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাই কি কি সমস্যাৰ সন্মুখীন হ'ব লগা হৈছিল, সেই সকলোখিনি কথা তেওঁৰ মানস পটত সেইদিনাখন ভাহি আহিছিল। In the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. First decade of the 20th century, that means the early decades of the 19th century, that means the period between the 1901 to 1910. So at that time, the first Anglo-Boer War took place. That was a war that was fought between the Africans and the English. This war took place before the birth of Nelson Mandela. See, he says that and before my own birth. That means this Anglo-Boer War that took place before the birth of Nelson Mandela. And after this war, the policy of apartheid started. The whites of South Africa began dominating and discriminating the blacks of South Africa. They implemented the policy of apartheid on the blacks. Nelson Mandela কৈছে যে 1901 চনৰ পৰা 1910 চনৰ ভিতৰত এংলো-বয়াৰ নামৰ এখন যুদ্ধ হৈছিল। সেই যুদ্ধ হৈছিল আফ্ৰিকানছ আৰু ইংৰাজসকলৰ মাজত। এই যুদ্ধখন নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাৰ জন্মৰ আগতে হৈছিল। এই যুদ্ধৰ পিছতে হোৱাইট সকলে ব্ল্যাক সকলৰ ওপৰত দমন আৰু শোষণ চলাবলৈ আৰম্ভ কৰিছিল। ব্লেকসকলৰ ওপৰত এপাৰ্থেইড নামৰ যিটো এটা ৰাজনৈতিক প্ৰক্ৰিয়া সেইটো লাগু কৰি দিছিল সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ হোৱাইটসকলে। The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhuman societies the world has ever known. Nelson Mandela says that the scenario, the political system created in South Africa after the apartheid was implemented, that was one of the most inhuman, most cruel and harshest of the societies. Nowhere in the world such a society took place. It was a pathetic scenario. The whites continuously discriminated, tortured the blacks. It was a tragic situation. Nelson Mandela কৈছে যে এপাৰ্থেইডৰ সময়ছোৱাত সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাত যি এক অমানৱীয় নিৰ্দয়তাৰ সৃষ্টি হৈছিল তেনেধৰণৰ পৰিৱেশ বিশ্বৰ কোনো অঞ্চলত তাৰ আগতে সৃষ্টি হোৱা নাছিল। Now in the last decade of the 20th century and my own 8th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all peoples regardless of the color of their skin. So last decade of the 20th century, that means from the year 1991 to the 2000s. So Nelson Mandela says that in the year 1994, when apartheid was abolished, Nelson Mandela was in the 8th decade. That means he was around 80 years of age. He says that finally now South Africa was liberated from the system of apartheid and now each and every individual of South Africa would enjoy their rights irrespective of the color of their skin. Now no more discrimination will prevail in South Africa. Nelson Mandela কৈছে যে 1991 পৰা 2000 ভিতৰত হে সময়খিনিৰ কথা নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাই উল্লেখ কৰিছে। তেওঁ কৈছে যেতিয়া 1994ত এপাৰ্থেইড সিস্টেম সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ পৰা নাইকিয়া হৈছিল তেতিয়া তেওঁৰ 80 বছৰমান হৈছিল বা চলি আছিল। তেওঁ কৈছে যে ফাইনালি এতিয়া সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ সকলো ব্যক্তিয়ে নিজৰ স্বাধীনতা উদযাপন কৰিবলৈ সুযোগ পাইছে। That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. I felt that day, as I have on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. That long and noble line ended and now began again with me. I was pained that I was not able to thank them and that they were not able to see what their sacrifices had wrought. So wrought you can see that means done or achieved. So as Mandela was reminded of the history of South Africa, he remembered the sacrifices of thousands of people. He feels that the courage they have shown and their sacrifices can never be paid back. Because of their sacrifice and courage, today, South Africa could see such a beautiful day. Mandela অতীতৰ কথাবোৰ ভাবিছে আৰু তেওঁ এইবোৰ কথা ভাবোতে তেওঁ ভাবি কৈছে যে বহুত দেশপ্ৰেমী তাৰমানে পেট্ৰিয়ট বহুত দেশপ্ৰেমীৰ চেক্ৰিফাইচ আৰু সাহসৰ কাৰণে আজি সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাই এই দিনটো দেখিবলৈ পাইছে। তেওঁলোকৰ ঋণ কেতিয়াও শোধ কৰিব পৰা নাযাব। The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. All of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt. You can see the meaning of profound, that is deep and strong. So Mandela says that the policy of apartheid deeply hurt his country people. Each of his country people, that is the blacks especially, will need time to recover from that wound. So Mandela কৈছে যে apartheid South Africaৰ মানুহৰ মনত বহুত কষ্ট আৰু দুখ দিছিল, সৃষ্টি কৰিছিল। এই দুখৰ পৰা ওলাই আহিবলৈ তেওঁলোকৰ যথেষ্ট সময়ৰ প্ৰয়োজন হ'ব। But the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect, and that was that it produced the Oliver Tambos, the Walter Sisulus, the Chip Luthulis, the Yusuf Dados, the Bram Fishers, the Robert Sobukwis of our time, men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity that their like may never be known again. So Mandela says that due to the years of apartheid, many courageous and great people were produced in the soil of South Africa. So the names of those people are given here. You can see this from Oliver Tambo's to Robert Sobukwe. So that they were the people. So they were courageous, wise, and generous, and they fought with extraordinary caliber. So দীর্ঘদিন ধৰি চলি অহা এপাৰ্থেইডে সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাত বহুতো সাহসী ব্যক্তিক জন্ম দিছিল, যেনে ইয়াৰ নামবোৰ দেখিব পাইছা এইখিনি ইয়াত অলিভাৰ টাম্বোৰ পৰা ৰবাৰ্ট চবুকুইজলৈকে। সো এইসকল আছিল জ্ঞানী, সাহসী আৰু বুদ্ধিজীৱী, আৰু তেওঁলোকৰ কাৰণে আজি সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাত এই এপাৰ্থেইড নামৰ চিষ্টেমটো নাইকিয়া হ'বলৈ পাইছে। সো তেওঁলোকৰো যথেষ্ট অৱদান আছিল। সো নেলসন মেণ্ডেলা আজি সেই সকলোবোৰ কথা তেওঁৰ মনলৈ আহিছিল, যিদিনাখন তেওঁ স্পীচ দি আছিল তেওঁ সকলোবোৰ কথা তেওঁৰ মনলৈ আহিছিল আৰু তেখেতে এইবোৰ কথা কৈছিল। Perhaps it requires such depths of operation to create such heights of character. So this is an important line. So when high operation is meted out to the people, perhaps only then people of such noble qualities are born. Mandela says that when someone pressurizes you, when someone constantly oppresses you, at that time, at some point of time, you become rebellious, you become more courageous. So Mandela says that only due to the policy of apartheid, such people were born in South Africa. Such people were discovered in South African soil. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its greatest wealth as is its people, finer and truer than the purest of diamonds. So, South Africa is famous for raw diamonds, and Mandela says that South Africa has many gems hidden in its soil. But the actual gem or jewel of South Africa is its people, that is the human resource. So, Nelson Mandela কৈছে যে South Africa actually কেঁচা হীৰাৰ বাবে বিখ্যাত। South Africa মাটিৰ তলত বহুতো জেমছ, তাৰমানে দামী পাথৰ পোৱা যায়, আৰু মাণ্ডেলাই কৈছে যে সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ আসল হীৰা হৈছে সেই পাথৰবোৰ নহয়, ইয়াৰ মানুহবোৰ। তেওঁলোক এই হীৰাৰ পৰাও বহুত বেছি মূল্যৱান আৰু দামী। It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of courage. So comrades means friends. So Nelson Mandela says that only from these people, only from my comrade, from my friends, from these people, I have learned the actual meaning of courage. এই সকলো মানুহৰ পৰা, মোৰ বন্ধুসকলৰ পৰাহে মই শিকিছো। বন্ধুসকল মানে তেওঁ ৰেফাৰ কৰিছে সাউথ আফ্ৰিকাৰ সেই সকলো মানুহবোৰ, হিউমেন ৰিচোৰ্চ, সেই সকলো মানুহবোৰৰ পৰাহে মই আজি কাৰেজ, তাৰমানে সাহসৰ মূল অৰ্থটো গম পাইছো। Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. So, Nelson Mandela says that I saw that for fulfilling their ideas and decision, people have even sacrificed their life. They became so involved in that idea. That idea means the idea of abolishing the policy of apartheid from the soil of South Africa. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers their fear. So Mandela says, you see that he saw people who faced any and every kind of torture, and as if they were made of steel, nothing could break them. You can see that here a line is given that without breaking, showing us strength and resilience that defies the imagination. You can see the meaning of resilience, that is the ability to deal with any kind of hardship and recover from its effect. So here Nelson Mandela is referring to the blacks who faced discrimination from the whites constantly, yet nothing could break them. They did not break. They were as if they were made of steel. So Nelson Mandela কৈছে যে হোৱাইট সকলৰ ব্লেক সকলৰ মনোবল ইমানে বেছি আছিল যে ব্লেক সকলৰ ইমান অত্যাচাৰৰ পিছতো তেওঁলোক ভাগি পৰা নাছিল। দুগুণ উৎসাহেৰে তেওঁলোক থিয় দিছিল এপাৰ্থেইড নামৰ পলিচি, ৰাজনৈতিক প্ৰক্ৰিয়াটো তাৰ পৰা নাইকিয়া কৰিবলৈ। ইমানখিনি চেষ্টা তেওঁ কৰিছিল। তেওঁলোকে কৈছে, নেলসন মেণ্ডেলাৰ নিজৰ ৰিডাৰ্ছ, পাঠকসকলক কৈছে যে আপোনালোকে বিশ্বাস নকৰিব যে তেওঁলোকক কিমান ষ্ট্ৰং আছিল, কিমান শক্তিশালী আছিল, নট অনলি ফিজিকেলি বাট অলছো মেণ্টেলি, কেৱল শাৰীৰিকভাৱেই নহয় কিন্তু মানসিকভাৱেও। And then he said that I learned that courage was not the absence of fear but the triumph over it. So then Mandela কৈছে যে সাহসটো কি সাহসটো কি সাহস মানে এটো নহয় যে ভয় নাথাকে বা ভয় নথকাৰ মানে সাহস নহয় সাহস মানে হৈছে সেই ভয়ক জয় কৰিব পৰাটো হেতু হে সাহস so that means the triumph মানে victory নিজৰ সেই victoryটো হৈছে সাহস হৈছে সেই ভয়ৰ পৰা নিজক জয় কৰিব পৰাটো হেতু হে আসল courage সাহস the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid but he who conquers that hey brave man সাহসী মানুহ হেজন নহয় যাৰ মনত কোনো ভয় নাই সাহসী মানুহ হেজন যাৰ মনত ভয় আছে আৰু তেওঁ সেই ভয়ক অতিক্ৰম কৰিব পাৰে সেই ভয়ৰ ওপৰত তেওঁ নিজৰ জয় সাব্যস্ত কৰিবলৈ সক্ষম হয় হেজনহে আসলতে courageous man no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. So Mandela says that no one hates a person on the basis of skin color, religion, caste or creed since birth. No one knows all this phenomena. Nelson Mandela says that people are taught to hate after they are born. If people can learn to hate, then they can learn to love as well. Because love comes more naturally to human heart. Nature taught us to love and we learned to hate after we came to this earth. That is after we were born. And if we can learn to hate, then we can definitely learn to love. In fact, we can learn to love more easily because love is inbuilt in human beings. So Nelson Mandela কৈছে যে জন্মৰ পৰা কোনেও কাকু জাতি ধৰ্ম বৰ্ণ এইবোৰৰ ভিত্তিত ঘৃণা কৰিবলৈ শিকি নাহে পৃথিৱীত জন্মৰ পিছতহে মানুহে মানুহক ঘৃণা কৰিব শিকে যদি মানুহে মানুহক ঘৃণা কৰিব শিকিব পাৰে তেনেহলে ভাল পাবতো শিকিব পাৰে কাৰণ ভাল পোৱাৰ ক্ষমতা মানুহক প্ৰকৃতিয়ে উপহাৰ দিছে আৰু ঘৃণা কৰাতকৈ ভাল পোৱাৰ কামটো বহুত বেছি সহজ হয় Even in the grimmest times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. You can see the meaning of pushed to our limits. The phrase, the meaning of pushed to our limits is pushed to the last point in our ability to bear pain. That means when someone constantly tortures you, when someone punishes you, at some point you feel like I cannot bear it anymore. That is pushing you to the limit. That is the meaning of pushed to our limit. So when Mandela says that when he was in the prison with his friends, that was with his comrades, you can see here with his comrades. So when he was in the prison with his friends, they were tortured brutally to a level where they could no longer bear the pain. And Mandela says that even during those times, he saw a flicker of humanity in the face of the guards. Maybe one of the guards acted kindly to him. And this assured Mandela that in this world, humanity did not die. Humanity still exists. This encouraged him to struggle more and more. So Nelson Mandela কৈছে যে তেখেতসকল তেওঁ বা তেওঁৰ বন্ধুসকল যেতিয়া জেলত আছিল তেতিয়া কি হল তেওঁলোকক বহুত হাৰাশাস্তি দিয়া হৈছিল বহুত টৰ্চাৰ কৰা হৈছিল বহুত কষ্ট দিয়া হৈছিল মানসিক শাৰীৰিক দুয়োভাৱে আৰু এটা সময়ত তেওঁলোকৰ এনেকুৱা লাগিছিল যে আমি আৰু সহিব নোৱাৰিম আমি আৰু সহ্য কৰিব নোৱাৰিম এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এটা ইমানখিনি কষ্ট দিছিল তেওঁলোকক মাণ্ডেলাই কৈছে ইমান কষ্টৰ সময়তো তেওঁ এজন গাৰ্ডৰ চেহেৰাত অকনমান মানৱীয়তাৰ কিবা এটা দেখা পালে হ'ব পাৰে হেজৰ গাৰ্ড তেওঁৰ প্ৰতি অলপ দয়া ভাৱ দেখালে অকনমান ভাল আছিল সবতকে আৰু সেই চেহেৰাটো দেখাৰ পিছত মাণ্ডেলাৰ বিশ্বাস হ'ল যে হিউম্যানিটি বা মানৱীয়তা পৃথিৱীৰ পৰা এতিয়াও মৰি যোৱা নাই কৰবাত মানৱীয়তা এতিয়াও জীয়াই আছে আৰু এটো দেখিয়ে তেওঁ শক্তি পাইছিল দুগুণ উৎসাহেৰে স্ট্ৰাগল কৰিবলৈ যুদ্ধ কৰিবলৈ তেওঁ উৎসাহ পাইছিল আৰু তেওঁৰ মনটো ভাল লাগিছিল একটা শক্তি পাইছিল Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. So Mandela says that goodness of human being is just like a flame of the candle. It can be hidden but no one can put it off forever. It will burn again. So Nelson Mandela মানুহৰ যেটো ভাল গুণবোৰ হেতু তুলনা কৰিছে হৈছে ক্যান্ডেলৰ ফ্লেমটোৰ লগত একাৰণে তুলনা কৰিছে মান্ডেলাই কৈছে যে মানুহৰ যেটো ভাল হ্যাবিটস বা ভাল কোৱালিটিজ হেখিনি ক্যান্ডেলৰ ফ্লেমটোৰ নিচিনা যেখিনি লুকাই ৰাখিব পাৰি কিন্তু নুমাই দিব নোৱাৰি কৰবাত না কৰবাত হেই গুডনেছবোৰ মানুহ গম পাবই মানুহৰ গুডনেছ হৈছে এটা এনেকুৱা বস্তু কাৰোবাৰ ভাল স্বভাৱ চৰিত্ৰ হেখিনি কেতিয়াও লুকাই নাথাকে এদিন নহয় এদিন মানুহৰ ওচৰত হেয়া আহিবই লাগিব হেকাৰণে হে বস্তুটো মান্ডেলাই মানুহৰ গুডনেছটো কাৰত কম্পেয়াৰ কৰিছে দ্য ফ্লেম অফ আ ক্যান্ডেল The explanation of the next part of the lesson will be given in the next video. Stay tuned to get the explanation of the last part of the lesson. Thank you.